Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kevindiana Jones Show. I am, what do you know? I am Kevindiana Jones. It's going to be a great show tonight. It's our second show of the third season. Welcome. The video is backwards, unfortunately, on Instagram at least, Instagram Live. They have removed my ability to make it mirrored, which was really cool. But they took away third-party mirrors, and that's who did the mirror filters. So thus is this. But when I put it on YouTube, I have the ability to flip it on my phone and then put it up proper. So, this is how it is until then. But, it's easy to orientate myself this way anyhow, for the most part. But, yeah, welcome to the show. Thank you for watching, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it on Instagram later or YouTube later. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a friend. Travel around the world and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. So yeah, anyways, I don't know where that came from, but that happens. This week in Indy, not too much. I took the week off for a staycation, as they call it, a wonderful staycation. It was the closest I felt to being on summer vacation since like 1997, 96, something like that. I just did nothing but read comic books and 2 years worth of Calvin and Hobbes. And that made me feel young again, and it gave me back some life. It was really, really awesome. I highly recommend taking time to yourself and just doing nothing, just shutting off from the world for the most part, and trying not to worry about things. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that was cool. I dressed up like Indy for the most part. A couple days, 3 days. It just felt good to do because why not? It was comforting. I was all about comfort. That past week, and the summer is coming. Heat is coming. I don't care for the heat, so I got to get the jacket use in. I'm wearing the tie tonight. I do not like wearing ties, but I figure for tonight's topic, I might as well go for the tied Crusader look. I didn't really get that too well, but whatever. I haven't worn a tie too much since my Olive Garden days, back in those fun old days of the Olive Garden. Anywho, the hike didn't happen due to the event getting canceled because of weather, which ended up being fine. It was a lovely day Saturday, but by that point it had been canceled, and I had gotten ravaged by allergies. New York City has been, I don't know if you can hear my voice, it's kind of rough. New York's been kind of effed in the A sideways with a metal ruler by pollen, and it hasn't been fun for me. Has not been fun. This morning I woke up sounding like Mel Gibson in Payback. It was very much like this, and I was afraid it was going to be like this for the show, which maybe could have been appropriate, but $70,000 in cash. Yeah, the pollen is rough. It's not fun for me. It's not a great time. I did get an update on my Steel and Jones jackets that I ordered way back in April, last year. So that should be coming maybe in a week or two. I don't know. So yeah, it's been a while after I ordered them, but it's always worth it. I mean, this is a Steel and Jones. This is my first one. This is my adored Last Crusade jacket. Diego is just a magician, so however long it takes for him to do it, he's just doing it for fun. Not for fun. He's doing it for you, for us. I'm sure it is fun for him, but you got to have patience with that kind of thing. It's just something he's doing on the side. It's not his real job. So the fact that he's doing it at all is just incredible. So if you do order from him, just have patience, for crying out loud. Don't bug the guy and say, "Where's my stuff?" He's doing it on the side, and you got to respect that, and you got to have patience for it, my friends. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. Patience is a virtue, and I got plenty of it because I'm old. I'm 45. It's not a hard thing to wait for things. Last April kind of seems like this past April. Boy, anyways. So yeah, my guest tonight is someone that you see out there on the Instagram plenty. He has organized something really, really cool with the help of some other indies, indie figureheads out there in the community. It is going to be the first Indiana Jones convention in the United States, which is really, really awesome. It's like beyond awesome. I wish I could go, but I cannot, unfortunately. So I'm very glad that I can have him on the show so I can talk to him about it live and in person. Crusader Indy himself, Brian Styron. let's get you on the show. There you go. Hopefully I'll be able to see it. We'll see. You know, I don't understand how it just isn't improved with all these updates they do all the time. But that's just how it goes, you know? I don't I don't know. I requested him to join. He is invited. It's just a thing we go through. It's a thing that happens often, and it doesn't make me happy. But it's the way of the Force, the way of all things. Oh, there we go. Bingo.
Hey-o.
Hey, there he is. Hey, buddy. Oh, shit.
How are you, sir?
There we go. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing very good. I'm doing very good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Great to see you. Great to have you. The background looks awesome. That just in general looks terrific. That's very, very cool. So how are you tonight, my friend?
Doing good. Doing very good.
Excellent. What are you wearing tonight? Who makes that hat right there?
This is a screen cap. This is Brian Lalonde.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Is that the Last Crusade?
This is we kind of at the last minute. I was originally going to do a Dial of Destiny, and then I went. This is kind of supposed to emulate the look of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull hat.
It's a good catch-all in general.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you look at it, it's obviously an Indy hat, but yeah, I would say it is a little more Crystal Scully than
Yeah.
Well, no, it's still Last Crusade. Yeah, that's a terrific hat.
A lot of that's in the pinch, yeah, for sure.
Nice. I think I saw one of your pictures. You do have a Raiders hat, though, right?
I have the other. I only have the one other hat. Believe it or not, I'm one of those guys that I just have the two for now. But
for you.
But the other one's it's a Federation, and I did do the Raiders turn to it, and I've been wearing that for a long time. That's the first fedora I ever had, and I bashed that myself when I got it.
Wow, so. You did that yourself. That looks incredible, my friend.
Yes,
well
sir.
done with that.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So yeah, you are in Florida, right?
Yes, sir.
Where in Florida are you?
I'm near Daytona Beach.
Oh, nice. Cool. I'm from Clearwater originally. I went to UCF for college, and
Okay.
so I went to Daytona plenty. I went to Cocoa and New Smyrna more because it was a little closer. But yeah, Daytona's awesome. That's so cool.
I live in New Smyrna, so that's great. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I always say near Daytona because New Smyrna is not so well known, but that's where I actually live.
You got to say that. Yeah, no, yeah, because that was, I think, only 45-minute drive for me. And despite the fact that it is like the shark attack capital of the world or something like that, I didn't care, you know.
It is. Yeah, that's funny.
That's so awesome. So yeah, this is not the beginning of the Kevin 11. This is just an outside question for me alone.
Sure.
I hope I mean, no offense. I hope this doesn't offend you. Do people ever actually accidentally say Byron Styron to you?
So it's funny thing. Yes, they do. So I'll answer your question. Yes, they do.
Thank God.
I had quite a few people do that growing up. It's kind of gone away as I've gotten older. I think people have more tact, you know. But I'm
Not
a junior. But I'm a junior. So that means my father, for sure, he knew, and he still named me that. And it was like, what a special gift.
Well, that's fantastic. I love it. Yeah, because I was typing up your thing for your YouTube thumbnail, and they just kept on typing Byron Styron. I don't know why I kept on doing that.
They try to rhyme it. They try to make the Styron rhyme. But you nailed the last name. That doesn't happen all the time either, Kevin. So thank you.
Well, thank you for that. Okay, good. I'm proud of that. I'm proud. It's a skill that I like to have. So yeah, let's begin with the Kevin 11. So Crusaders Con. First of all, I love the name and the entire concept because Last Crusade is my favorite indie movie. How did this all come about?
So I'm just really fortunate. I think social media. I'll bring this up again later, but you know the answer is involved in this. But we have a great fandom community. I mean, you know that, you know, as well as I do. So there's so many people that are connected, and there's so many people that are just generous and warm and open to things, and we all kind of share this love. But I'm involved in a lot of fandoms, but this one's kind of special, you know, and I don't know what makes it special. I'm hoping to keep it special, right? But yeah, so that's kind of where it really truly does start, is that I was on here all the time. I was doing these things and meeting these amazing people, and but this opportunity came up, you know, really because the catalyst for it, like once once I kind of was involved in the community and had, met all these people and networked with them and kind of, oh, I'm doing this or I'm doing that, or just ideas. And, you guys know who you are. Some of you are watching right now. But yeah, the GoFundMe for the bed and breakfast, the Indiana Jones bed and breakfast, which if you're watching and you don't know, is the house where young Indy grows up, is featured in Last Crusade. Historic property. But so the owner, Sabra, and I reached out to her and I just said, hey, like, what can I do to help you kind of get the ball rolling on this GoFundMe? Like, it feels like it's stagnant. I feel like we don't have nearly enough followers on her page. So we're not really broadcasting out the message. And Alex has been really helping with that too. And I met up with him a few times, the Indy guy. Watching you, Alex. And yeah, we just kind of had this idea, like, let's do something that behooves us as fans. So let's have an organized event with some big surprises, and then use that to benefit the bed and breakfast. And that really, truly, that was the catalyst. I mean, I think I always, as a fan by myself, I always wanted there to be a convention that was kind of focused on Indy, but I never really hoped to be involved in one, but here I am, right? So I'm very, very lucky. I certainly am not doing all the heavy lifting. We helped come up with the name and the concept and everything, but there's a team of folks that are really helping with this, and they're extraordinary people. They're all kind of involved in the fandom in a lot of similar ways, but in a lot of different ways. And I think we have a really good little think tank, and we're, as fans, putting together something for fans, and that's rare. That's really special. So,
well, it's especially for the fact that it's Indiana Jones, a character that's been around for so long and maybe isn't the most popular of characters, but to be able to finally produce something like that, provide something like that for the fans, by the fans, that's something incredible. Like, I really, really wish I could be there for all this. And it sounds, I know there's not much known about it, but this sounds awesome. It is 5 days long, October 10th through the 14th, right?
Yep,
Well,
yep, that's correct.
That's 5 days. You must have a lot planned. Can you tell us maybe a little bit about it by any chance?
So we have a pretty robust itinerary. We're going to be getting we have a .com. We haven't launched it yet. We want to put up a very robust, like, a FAQ section, because like you said, there's, even with an itinerary, there's a lot of ins and outs to all these things, and we're getting a lot of questions, which of course we don't mind answering. If you're planning on coming, we want you to plan right along with us and come up with the best possible plan. And we've been looking for opportunities like this to discuss it and talk about what we're doing, and give kind of teases about what's coming. But we'll be able to, once that .com is launched, and it'll be crusaderscon.com. So keep an eye out. I'll be posting on there. There's actually an Instagram just for the Crusaders Con, obviously. Alex, we're just going to try and keep it all in kind of one place. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you that, I mean, the con itself, across those days, yeah, there's a reason that we've allotted ourselves that much time. Antonito, where this is going to take place in Colorado, is a really interesting place just by itself. It's remote. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but it's wonderfully in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of preserved a lot of these structures, and there's a lot of history out there. But we're going to have a day where we go on the train that was used in the movie. So you can take a train ride. It's all on the Indiana Jones Bed and Breakfast website for right now. If anybody's curious, right this second, this has sparked that interest in you. But we have guests that are coming. We have vendors that are coming. We're open to more of any of those. If anybody has any sparks and inkling that they want to be involved in that, we're very open to that. Again, I want fans front and center. I want people who, if you create things or do things, we would like to have a conversation with you. And if you're able to come and do that, that's even better. This is just our first one, obviously. So, but we're a more complete itinerary. Like I said, a real robust itinerary. We have it broken out by day, but there are just, like I said, there's going to be days that it is essentially a day to ride the train to and from. It's pretty incredible. There's food service on that, and that's just one of those things. Like, the train from Last Crusade is going to be the one pulling you, and that's just the coolest thing. That's just one day.
Oh my,
So,
God.
but there will be plenty of things to do back at there. If you don't, we have contingencies for all this. So again, we're trying to think this out as best we possibly can. And like I said, I think we have a team that's really, they're hitting all the bases. I'm very, very proud of what's going on. I'm very, very happy as a fan to be a part of this, not just creating it, but I get to go there and show up and be involved, So that's the best, yeah.
Oh man, that's so cool. Is there a get pushed into a vat of snakes day?
No, that's cost extra, and you got to do it down the road. I got a guy, but no, not yet. No,
And
not as
only
of
on
yet, Kevin. No.
Thursdays. Only on
Yeah.
Thursdays past 7 p.m., but not before 8 p.m.
No children.
So
I'm not falling for that again.
that sounds awesome, man. I mean, I'm proud of you for this. It hasn't even happened yet, but it just sounds like it's going to be so cool. And I doubt it's going to be the last one, for crying out loud. It won't be the first and last. I don't believe that, because it already
Yeah.
sounds incredible.
I have serious doubts that it would be the last one. I think we're all very stubborn about it too, which helps. Again, it's a passion project. This isn't really it. Like I said, we want donations, we want money. Like I said, I want to raise money for the house. We do, but again, we're none of us are doing this for money. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's donations so that we can keep the house preserved and we can all keep going there as fans. And I mean, just the history of the house by itself before the film, it's an amazing little structure. So, but I would love to continue to do this. I would love to use it for a good cause. Everybody wins. We all get together. I've not met anybody from California Jones out there that I don't love and appreciate. A lot of good friends out there. New York, you guys are great up there. It's anytime we all get together, it's a great time. So I'm hoping this can kind of become that too, where we all kind of have that reason to put something on the calendar and meet up. Not like we don't already do that, but a little bit more indie focused. It's a little bit more poignant. So
Yeah,
that's the exciting part.
absolutely. That sounds so cool. I mean, that basically answers my next question.
Okay.
That the proceeds going to the house just seems so important to you. Has that driven the entire thing and every bit of planning, more or less, to get the most maximum bang for the buck for everyone?
Yeah. I mean, because obviously it's a year-round bed and breakfast, so it's a business year-round. You can go there, you can stay in the house. There's the different rooms you can stay in. It's very indie themed, and again, I know there's a lot to do there once you're there too. So that's the best part. But they make food on site. Sabra's very knowledgeable. I mean, there's nothing she doesn't know. She's like a little built-in Sherpa for that area. So there's nothing that you won't know how to do. But yeah, I would love to help it preserve the building, encourage interest in the business, and yeah, ultimately, like I said, yeah, just keep the ball rolling for us as a fandom. But yeah, that is absolutely what started it. Was like, let's do some good. We're all fans. There's so many things that are public structures, or they were just set pieces or whatever. There's not a lot that's truly as tangible as this, and that's what I love about the structure. Like this house is just it's just got that neat fun to it. It's the inside is where they shot, the outside is where they shot. The train being there, yeah, there's some magic
Which
to
is
it. Like
rare.
you were saying
That's
earlier.
very rare.
Yep.
In movies, that's so very rare to actually happen that way. So that's really, really cool. I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's brief, right? But it's so memorable. I don't think anybody, like, there's something kind of synonymous about that with River and the Boy Scout uniform, and he's running past the mailbox. You just kind of, I don't know. There's something iconic about the house, right? I know Indy. We didn't get a ton of movies, right? But and obviously we hyper focus on this stuff as fans, but there is something iconic about it, and it just kind of does tell you that story, that father and son living there and kind of barely talking to each other, but yeah, it kind of sparks that adventure, and you're like, where did this guy live? Where did he come from? Where did he lay his head at night? And that kind of gives you an answer.
So amazing. Will there be someone cosplaying as Henry Jones Sr., always facing the other way, but admonishing everyone walking into the room?
He just puts his hand up. Yeah, we hadn't had that, but I'll tell you what. I'm gonna look into it now, obviously. But more importantly, if you do get the chance to come, if your plans change, I got a job for you now. So
I can do that.
You brought that on yourself.
That would be amazing. Shut up! Don't look me in the eyes. What are you personally looking forward to most of all?
The people. Yeah, I'm a sucker for. I'm a people person, right? People say that, but I really do love fellow fans like yourself, and meeting and interacting with those people, finding out what this thing brought us all together. We're probably all very different people,
Oh, yeah.
but this thing brought us all together. We go to this extreme. You're going to go to another state to hang out with a bunch of people you don't know who like the same stuff as you, and I'm like, heck yeah, I am. So that's what I'm looking forward to the absolute most. I mean, like, again, it's at that location. I'm sure I'm going to make memories, but it'll be memories I make with other people. That's other fans, and that's what matters most. So yeah, that's number one for me.
Absolutely. For when I went to California and I met all the California Jones people, and then some people from Colorado, other places. For me, it was just amazing to have that camaraderie with the
Right?
community. But then I also felt something very personal for just me alone. That like look what I'm doing just because I'm wearing this outfit. Look where I am and look who I'm meeting.
Yep.
Like it was also just something for me as like a personal win. And that's something that I think everyone will probably feel because it itself is an adventure. Going to a completely different place
Oh,
far away,
yeah.
meeting people you've never met before, and just going on this adventure, that's an adventure.
Yep.
Not even what you're going to do later on. It's just really, really cool that you're giving people the opportunity to do this. And yeah, if I do get a chance to come, I'm not going to be dressed as Henry Jones Sr. I'm going to be dressed like this. Damn it.
I
Um,
had a feeling. I had a feeling you'd fight back on that one, but that's all right.
I
I'm
tried
sure
to
we
go
can
with
arrange it.
yes.
We don't know what we don't know what you besides the briefly kind of seeing him in the early parts of young Indy. I guess we really don't know what young Henry Senior looked like too much from behind. So you don't need a hat or anything. It'll be
That's
fine.
true. I just assumed he would have handlebar mustache. It would be
Obviously, yeah.
Touchables type
There was a
Sean
reason
Connery.
that was darker in the beard. You're spot on. It's got to be true.
That's what I like. That's what I have in my head. So now this is the first Indiana Jones convention in the United States. I seem to remember has there been another one elsewhere, like in Europe or something like that? I think there may have been.
There's kind of an adventurers gathering, yeah, in Europe, and it's a summit, an adventurers summit, and there's some fantastic folks that go to that, and the costumes are just, I mean, they do some great stuff over there. But yeah, as I don't know that there's been anything in the U.S. Ever before this that was kind of just indie focused. I mean, I could be wrong. Again, we're not. As far as I know, it is the first. I agree with you. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hey, but it'll be the most recent, and I'm looking to make it the most fun, right? We're the whole brain trust we have is looking to make it the best and most memorable. So that's ultimately what matters most.
Well, luckily we live in an age where everyone has smartphones on them. I was going to call them car phones almost. When they
Well,
have they can videotape everything, so that at least will give people the opportunity to feel like they're there. Just seeing everyone interacting with each other, so that'll be really really cool to watch. I'm sure.
yeah, I'm one of those people myself. I know that FOMO is a rabid affliction, so I obviously I'm very aware of that. I know that some people can't go. I can't tell you how many times I've had that. Had friends gather and go somewhere. When everybody actually went to the California premiere for Dial of Destiny, I was dying inside. Like I'm happy that people got to go. I'm thrilled they got to go, but knowing it was the last movie, that was a difficult one. That was like, damn, I wish I was there.
Yeah.
I don't even need to go inside. I don't need to meet anybody. I just wanted to be there with my fellow fans to kind of be there at this big blitz to send it off, and that's it. Like that's the last one. So that was a chore, but we got through it. So, but yeah, I'm sure we'll have plenty of social media coverage. We have some folks that are attending just for that reason. Alex. Alex is going to tear it up, and he's going to do his thing out there. I can't think of somebody who's better about kind of knowing what to capture, putting his passion into it, and making it into the edit, and doing a big video for it. So I'm sure
Oh
he's
hell
going to
yeah.
get plenty of videos per day. So I'm looking forward to that too. I'm sure I'll be sitting around watching them just like you guys, even though I'm going. What? I'm sure I'm going to want to relive it too. So.
Oh God, absolutely. I bet you will. Yeah, I mean, I understand completely what you mean about wanting to just be at the Destiny premiere, like just to tailgate at something like that alone would have
Yeah, just to
been
be out on that
really, really
sidewalk.
awesome.
There were so many people out there that are, in so many different ways, and I've come to know them in different ways, and we've conversed about things, and they've been generous and kind to me, and to be there with them, that would have been exceptional. But I'm thrilled they were there with each other. That's the next best thing. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for Crusaders Con, how many people are going thus far?
I don't have an exact head count. Saber gets that in off the website. I know we kind of have to cap it because of not like there's general admission. I don't think there's a cap on that. But some of the tickets we're doing, obviously they include like a lodging. So I
Ah,
think the lodging cap is somewhere around like 100 persons. That's like my estimate. It's probably closer. It's between like 175, 75-ish people. That's again, that's a ballpark. So because you have two people bunking per room in certain rooms and stuff. So, but yeah, I know we can accommodate. about that many ourselves. Now, if somebody wants to drive in for a day or something and drive back out and not try to stay there, they're more than welcome to do that as well. Again, we can answer questions to help make that happen. But yeah, there's no. I mean, as far as like the general admission and participating in things, I don't think there's necessarily a cap. It's the lodging that's kind of got us a number. So.
Gotcha. Okay, good. That's good for everyone to know. That's good for me to know as well, because I did have honestly a thought of like, what if I just went for a day and just flew in and
You're
flew out
you're more
one
than
day?
welcome to, again, as we get closer to the actual event, there are going to be some things that we announce that will probably encourage people to want to be there on a certain day. So you'll get the inside track on that as soon as we can get to you. So,
Awesome.
I don't want to be cryptic. I'm trying to give you guys something, but we've got some really interesting and fun things planned. Again, I'm very lucky that I'm working on this with the people that I am, and that they're able to pull off these miracles. Is certainly, I can't take a whole lot of credit for any of this. This is it's working out better than I could have planned. So that I will say.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Besides raising money for the house, what are your hopes for all of this?
Like you said, I mean, so to spin it into a regular annual event, I would love to, if we don't continue to do it at the house, which I'd love to always do it at the house, but to make sure that we can have as many people that want to come out as possible if it gets that following, right? So not just that we hold the event, but that the event grows, right? That would be even better. And maybe to get some larger recognition, whatever that means. But I would like to have some of the creative forces involved be involved with it as well. I think that's the ultimate love letter. That's the absolute goal for me, right? Is like, if someone that was on the creative side of this wants to be involved or just acknowledge it, I think we would have all succeeded beyond our wildest dreams. We already kind of are.
Yeah.
We've met goals and exceeded them, right? So you as you're going along, you have to continue to make new goals, and I think that is the ultimate goal. Is to, like you kind of touch the source of the art, and that would be something else. So, but for now, yeah, I'd like to see it spin into something we do on a regular basis, and I'd love more and more people to be able to come out and do this and be a part of it, and I'd look forward to meeting those people as well.
This is beautiful, man. Well said. I love that. Well said. I love
Thanks, sir.
I love what you said about having further goals as your goal.
Oh yeah.
Because that's very important for many people out there to understand, is that there's a saying that my old boss, he's passed away since, but he used to say, if you're not growing, you're dying. And the best thing to do for something like this is to just grow and grow, that it can possibly touch someone that has indeed worked on the films. Like if you could get Frank Marshall involved or Ben Burt
Oh my
involved,
goodness.
wouldn't
Right.
that be
Yeah.
something?
Anybody that contributed to shaping what that character is, because it's so near and dear to us. But yeah, I talk about that a lot. I know I like history, which is, I guess, I like Indy. So, but Kodak Eastman invented the digital photograph, but they refused to embrace digital photography, and that's why the company went bankrupt. So it's like, you don't want to be the caveman that invented fire and then freeze to death, right? You don't want to be that guy, you know. So it's important. Yeah, you can meet goals, but once you've met them, that's not good enough anymore, So I think we all feel that way. I don't think we've talked about that like ad nauseum, but I think we all feel that way. Like, why would we stop? Why would we say let's only go so far? And we're going as far as we can, And I know there's a lot of us out there. I know the kind of the more hardcore people, it seems to be a smaller number, but I know there's people out there that just love indie and they would love to be a part of this. And I'd like to have them there too. So
That's terrific. Yeah, I was thinking about that today. Of maybe people who are watching this, they might not all be cosplayers. They might just love the character in general. And that's something important for people to understand, is that like the things we're doing is not just for each other. It's also for people. I personally know I have some friends, even like fans, that they don't cosplay, but they just love indies so much, and they love watching and looking at us dressed up like this. And that's a huge factor in getting further word to things, I feel like.
yeah, I would say, of the people I know, the more serious fans that love indie, it's about half and half. I know just as many of them that have fedoras and they have the full outfit and ones that just don't. I certainly don't think I think it's an extreme. I've always been very comfortable, like I said at the outset. Like, I've always been involved in different fandoms and things, and so to me, it's very natural to kind of dress up and kind of participate in the thing that you love by way of cosplay. But yeah, it's certainly not necessary. I don't feel like I'm sitting at the cool kids table because you have a costume. I admire it. I think it's amazing, and the depth and the wealth of knowledge people have about these costumes and what's accurate and what was used and what wasn't used is incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm always learning something. That has never ended. It never will end. Never. And that's a wonderful little resource, a well of information, right? But and that's just costuming. I mean, the movies themselves, I'm still learning things about it, and that's a beautiful thing. You got something that's decades old and you still don't know it all. That's really, really wonderful as well. But yeah, it doesn't matter if you want to be involved. You just have to love Indiana Jones. That's the minimum criteria. Is if you don't love Indy, this probably isn't for you. But if you do, come on out. Yeah, like that's what we want. So yeah, the cosplay thing it's another way that people who love Indy express that love. That's what it is, and it doesn't make them better. It just makes them different. So.
Absolutely. Man, another beautiful answer. Good Lord. You're good at this. You are good at this.
Well, you gave me the questions in advance. Oh, we're not supposed to tell you that.
No, I didn't.
He did.
So,
he did.
I did not. So that all sounds incredible. And like I said before, I'm proud of you guys for having done this, and I can't wait to see where this goes. So if we could shift focus quickly to in a way to the Florida Jones in general, what is besides the actual community itself? What is your favorite part of being a part of the Florida Jones?
It's because, and I wasn't going to let you get rid of me without mentioning my Florida Jones. I love Florida Jones. I love the people involved in that. Yeah, it's a little different, right? Because I get to see them on a semi-regular basis. I'm very, 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 very lucky to live where I do. I'm so close to Disney World. I'm so close to the Epic Stunt Show. I'm so close to Jock's Hangar Bar. I'm soon to be very close to the ride they're building at Animal Kingdom. I've got some of the best fans right in my backyard, right? So while I love and embrace that larger community, because I get to know these people on a more like familiar, intimate level, right? Like I've made some really, really good friends, real, just genuine friends. And we don't just sit around and only talk about Indiana Jones. It's brought us together, so you acknowledge that. But Florida Jones to me is just, yeah, it's like my first priority. Like it's the thing I love and I look forward to the most. We're trying to do more and more things together. But yeah, I mean, just it's opened up, those gates of fandom to other things. I have people that kind of cross over. I do some stuff with Ghostbusters, and then there's people that do stuff with Star Wars, and it's just wonderful to have. We can literally sit at the table. It's not a special trip. Again, when the folks come out from other states, I look forward to it. It's a delight. But I can schedule anytime I want. I can just, hey, let's go to Disney World, and we just go walk around at Disney World, and or whatever we want to do.
Right.
So Florida Jones is a little bit of both, right? It is heavily focused on the fandom, and we're doing stuff. That's what brought us together. But ultimately, you walk out of there with just a friend, just a really, really good friend. They're well-rounded people, similar interests as you, and that's the difference. I suppose that's the main difference for me is that these are people I've gotten to be really, really close to, and that's great. And I think we all have kind of a similar agenda to keep doing things together and to keep kind of spreading that and putting that online, and kind of we run into people all the time. I'll dress up, it's Florida, so it's hot. I usually wear like a short sleeve shirt or something. But if I'm wearing the hat and the bag and somebody recognizes it, I'll stop and talk to them. And you just want to add more people to the pile. But yeah, I mean, we'll go bowling or something. It doesn't matter. Whatever we want to do, we can hang out together. So it is that little group of guys and gals that you get together with and hang out with on the weekend, regardless of the fandom, and that steps it up. It's even cooler. So
man, that's awesome, man. Of course, this happens when I don't live in Florida. But God, bowling? Are you? Oh, God, I would love to go bowling with you guys. God, I love bowling.
Well, you can always visit. You can always visit, and we can do that. And there's a bowling alley right down there in Disney Springs near Jock. So you'd be more. We'd love to hang out with you sometime for sure. But yeah, they got houses here too. I don't know. If there's a zip code, I think you can move here, Kevin. I don't know.
We'll see. I doubt it, but well, I do have access to Florida places quite a bit. So who's to say? Who's to say what the future holds?
Let's do that.
how long have you been cosplaying for? Because I was looking back on some of your older pictures, and it looks like you've been doing this for a good while.
So the indie stuff, I want to say, I've always loved Indiana Jones. I remember the first time I had the VHS, cassette that my parents got, some Raiders with the original artwork, and I just loved. There was something kind of amazing about Indy, like you, you just kind of gravitate toward it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure, like I dressed up. My father brought us here on vacation. We used to live up north, and I remember like putting on the hats and stuff. And I've been dressing up since I was a kid, and I think every kid goes through an Indiana Jones phase. Mine just never ended. But yeah, I mean, when I got serious about cosplay, probably 2006, 2007, right in there. So we're a little over 20 years of me just kind of being like, you know what, I'm gonna get a real Wested jacket, and I'm gonna put some time and effort into this, and just build something out of it. So and then yeah, as far as social media presence, yeah, it's been a lot more recent. It's been like 5 or 6 years or whatever it's been. So but I love, like I said, I love what I'm able to do with this. I'm always learning things. I'm always buying props and things, and um, things always being added to the pile. But yeah, 5 or 6 years of really being serious about the community and being involved in what's going on with it, and cosplaying. Yeah, like adding to. I've got like an army of shirts. I used to have just like a few shirts, and now I've got a bunch, and I get recommendations like everybody else on where to get something, and I've got a few that I've modified. I've made them short sleeve, so yeah, that's even good when it's
I
under
love
the
those.
jacket.
Those are cool.
Yeah, one less layer, one less thing to be sweating through, so
Yep.
they're pretty awesome. Yeah, just about that long.
That's awesome, man. That's fantastic. Well, that is the Kevin 11, but I do have a backup question that I did want to ask you. Crusaders Con, Last Crusade. Is Last Crusade your favorite indie movie? And if not, which one is?
Uh, I think there's two different stories that go on. But that's a loaded answer, right? But like, so Raiders is my favorite. It is. I think it's timeless. I think it's a near perfect movie. I love the balance of the characters. I love the iconography. Um, I love the humbleness of the hero. You're kind of in awe of these things he's doing, and he's like, I'm just making this up as I go. And I think everybody loves that about the character. But that's that original one, right? Crusade to me is like the start of another story. We kind of find out even more so that he's kind of pretending to be Indy on the weekends. You kind of get a taste of that in Raiders, but Last Crusade, like Temple of Doom, I should say, is really, that one's so heightened. It's like he's this fictional character. He really is Indiana Jones. He's not Henry.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I love the twist. I love that Spielberg humanized him. He gave him a father. He showed us him. Yes, sir. Like who does he ultimately just completely respect? He's just a man. He's got all these people. The word's kind of gotten out. The stuff he does on the weekend is kind of gotten back to these students, and he's very famous for it or whatever. But
Right.
they're kind of pouring over and gushing over him, but it's to me, it's a start of a different way of telling that story. It's the same character, but we're kind of seeing him in a different light. So Crusade and Crystal Skull and Dial, I think that's Henry Jones Jr. That really is him. But those first two are kind of exceptional. It is a complete set of films, but I think of them, yeah, I've always got to say Raiders. I love them all. I love every one of them in
Sure.
their own way, but
Sure.
Raiders is special. There's something about it. It's that plucky hero, that that reunited love, the assassin monkey. You don't get these things often.
Mhm.
So perfect movie. Perfect movie.
What a beautiful man. Once again, you're really good at this, man. What a beautiful answer. And that
Uh,
was very nuanced also. Like you said, that was a loaded answer, but you unloaded it for us. I mean, that's such a good explanation of those movies, in fact, that I never thought of it that way, but it is the same character, but it's just kind of different facets of it that you see in these different movies that are all connected by basically the hat and everything else, because he is kind of different in Last Crusade than he is in, definitely, from Temple of Doom, and
you're right. And
all
people
he's a little different in all of them, honestly.
people oh, these different shade of indie in every one of them, but I think there's something that starts in Crusade for me. that makes it more relatable. I think we all do that. You just did your staycation, right? But if money wasn't a concern, you would have really gone and had some adventures. You would have
Oh, sure.
really, I'd love to just go depart and dress up and go on an adventure and then come back to my regular life. And I think that's what everybody watches these for. They can lie to me if they want, but they'll never convince me otherwise. Well, it's an escape.
Yeah.
And and this is the ultimate escape franchise because you really are going on true adventure, pure adventure. So I think that makes him more relatable. Like when he's in those first two movies, I don't see myself as ever being even close. Well, I'm not going to be. I'm nothing like him. But then you see this, and he's like, this guy, he's a teacher, and he just goes and I'm going to do some flighty, risky stuff on the weekend, and come back, and they'll know me as Indiana, but then I'm Henry on Monday. I got to be back at the school.
Right.
So it's pretty interesting. It's nice to see more of Clark Kent and less of Superman. Yeah.
It's like Lois and Clark, the old series. You saw more Clark than Superman. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Which enriched it. Yeah, it was like this is the stuff he has to put up with. This is the show he's putting on so he can go and do what he really wants to do.
Right.
So, yeah, it's fun.
Sometimes shit sours that he's got to kill people, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey, as long as he only gives me detention when he gets back to class, so.
I just blew that guy's head off. I hope that doesn't affect my tenure.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
Yeah. It's only a lie. It's not a lie if you believe. I don't know. There's a good stanza quote in there. But,
don't worry about it. I love it.
Brian, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. You were terrific.
Likewise.
Great to talk to you. Great to hear all about Crusaders Con or Crusader Con?
Crusaders Con.
Crusaders Con, plural. Yes, because it is going to be many Crusaders together.
Many Crusaders. That was the thinking. Yep. See, you got it.
Beautiful work on all of it, and I look forward to seeing more of your work and more of everything else. Thank you so much for being on the show, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much, and stay tuned. We'll have more. I promise, guys.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Have a great night.
Likewise. Thank you, sir.
Of course. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh well, that was awesome. Now I'm wishing I can go to Colorado territory to go see everybody in the club getting tipsy. Yeah, I mean, Colorado has always been a goal for me to go someday because my neighbors used to go to Breckenridge as I was growing up, and we did not go to Breckenridge, but we did go to Disney all the time, so that was a good trade-off. Slash the Bahamas. That's the good thing about growing up in Florida is it's close to many cool things. That's something that many people don't realize. That's not just a kooky, crazy state full of kooky, crazy people. There's a lot of cool shit not only in it, but near it. That's off a total tangent. Thank you so much, Brian, once again for being my guest tonight. That was really, really awesome. I'm really, really glad to hear about all this stuff that is planned for Crusaders Con. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait to see the videos on that. So yeah, that was terrific, and I just think it's cool that that's happening and that there's still passion for Indiana Jones, which is evident that people are watching this. People watch this right now. They watch it later on YouTube. And at the end of the day, like people watch this for hours and hours. I'm not the same person. I'm hoping it's not just one person watching this for hours and hours. I guess that would be something, but I'd rather get to a whole lot of people. It's not getting thousands of views, and that's okay because people are actually watching it. And I always figured that there's an old Mystery Science Theater 3000 saying that the creator Joel Hodgson was asked about, how do you think the show could be successful? And his answer is kind of informed everything I've done creatively. The right people will get this, and you are the right people. You are a fantastic audience. I so appreciate you watching this. I will not be here next Monday, as a result of me getting my second to last gum surgery this upcoming Friday. It's not going to be fun. It never is. This will be my third. It's going to be painful. But what can you do? I got to do it. That's the thing. You got to do what you got to do. But I will be back the week after that, Monday, June 2nd. With someone that I've been talking to for almost as long as I've been doing this. And I can't wait to talk to him about a very cool topic, the villains of Indiana Jones. It'll be Indy McFly himself, Shane Smith, and I can't wait to talk to him in 2 weeks. Next week is Memorial Day anyhow, so you'll all be doing other stuff. You'll be cooking out and tossing the old pigskin. You know, if people still toss the pigskin, I don't know if that happens. At least you swipe that you toss the pigskin on some kind of cellular phone game on your car phone. But so yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great night and a great 2 weeks. I will see you soon, and just have a good time. Have a good time out there. You know, don't take life for granted. Have fun. Get outside. Do things. Or have a staycation and don't go outside as much as you can and just stay inside and read comic books. Whatever's good for the soul. And it's good to do things for the soul, because when you just work and work and work, even if it's a really cool, fun job, which I'm lucky to have, it's still really important to do and embrace yourself. Oh, Drew Carey said something at the end of every Price is Right, and I love it, that he says, "Take care of yourself." There's nothing wrong with caring about yourself and getting help if you need it. There's no shame in it, and I'm lucky that my wife is a therapist, because she helps all the time. I don't know. I don't know if people can't afford it, but everyone needs to talk to somebody about important things, and it's always good to have someone in your life, whether it's an actual therapist or someone that you care about, to talk about things. And I'm just lucky enough to have both, thank goodness. So, yeah, you know, care about yourself, care about others. The world needs it, you know, we all need it. So, yeah, have a great 2 weeks. I'll see you soon. Have a great night, my friends. You're the best. Bye-bye.